flatly denied that planning will be delayed. No one, Alexander told the meeting, is indispensable. And he added, "I can't accept the platitudes and big words Dr. Murphy has put forth this morning." Today in Maryland is the deadline for filing petitions to get independent candidates on the November ballot. And it appears that the fourth party won't make it, as Maryland correspondent Bill Zimmerman reports.
It takes the signatures of nearly 43,000 registered voters to get a candidate who is not affiliated with either major party on the ballot in Maryland. The two Georgias, Wallace and Mahoney, have found the task relatively easy. But to the left of center on the political spectrum, the task is being found next to impossible. The Committee for the Formation of a New Party, which would like to nominate Eugene McCarthy if the Democrats fail to do so, says it cannot get the signatures it needs. It says it has only collected 10,000, and today is the deadline. One of the reasons, say fourth party spokesman, is that youngsters collecting signatures have been repeatedly ejected from places where the people are, like Capitol Plaza here in Prince George's County. On Monday, 2 fourth party workers were arrested and charged with trespassing here when they refused to end their petition gathering activity. The same 2 and 3 others have been picked up by police here Saturday. And fourth party chairman Mark Raskin says the arrests are unconstitutional.
The major point is plazas, which are in fact public places, must be open to petition gathering for political campaigns, and that the idea of trespass does not apply to such situations. These are in fact quasi-public areas, and they should be handled no differently than municipalities. The Supreme Court has so held on May 20th, and it applies in Maryland as well as in the rest of the United States.
A spokesman for Capitol Plaza says the youngsters who were arrested here Monday were roaming around and approaching people in violation of mall regulations, which require that political activity be confined to a single location. The trial begins on August 6th. In the meantime, the fourth party is scratching around trying to come up with signatures wherever it can get them. But even if it could come up with 44,000, it would be too late, and the party would have to go to court to try to get the deadline moved back. Bill Zimmerman in Prince George's County.
Representative John Conyers says he'll help get a Justice Department investigation of conditions at the Virginia State Penitentiary at Richmond. Conyers made the statement after meeting with attorney Philip Hirschkoff, who has been pressing the case for striking prisoners for several weeks. A Justice Department civil rights attorney attended today's meeting in Conyers' office. Meanwhile, the state corrections director flatly rejected today any outside mediation of the dispute between the prisoners and prison officials. Both Hirschkoff and a group of Richmond ministers are seeking such mediation. Today in Richmond, Reverend Robert Duvall was asked about the call for outside aid for the prisoners.
I think at this point that this would be very helpful.
Do you think it's the only answer?
Well, I think it would be perhaps better if the prison authorities could undertake the necessary reforms themselves. But I wonder at this point, after it's gone this far, whether this is possible.
Reverend, there's been talk that the inside of the prison is close to a riot. Aren't you afraid that the activity of yourself and the rest of the demonstrators might do harm inside the prison and might bring about a riot situation?
I don't really feel so. In fact, I think perhaps otherwise, in that the fact that they know that they have support, that there are those who are concerned and are working to do something, perhaps will give them a little patience to wait.
Members of the Bannockburn PTA say they're going ahead with plans to bus 21 school children from the district into Montgomery County next fall. Under the plan, the children from Meyer Elementary School in central Washington would be transported to Bannockburn, where they would attend classes with the suburban children. Yesterday, the House-Senate conference on the D.C. revenue bill banned the use of D.C. funds for such a plan. And today, Bannockburn PTA spokesman Jerry Frybaum said money was not the reason.
I think it's important to note that the House action was in no way influenced by cost on this program. The other issues were the main factor here. The cost would have been, the net cost would have been zero to the district. And by zero, I mean there would have been no cost beyond what it would normally cost them to educate these children within the district. Foundation and private foundation and private organizations have guaranteed funds of $16,500 to make up the difference between what it would cost the district and what it would cost to educate the children in the county, the difference between tuition, transportation, teacher's aid, and so on. So there is no cost factor at all involved. I think it's quite a tragedy for a group of congressmen to squelch the beginnings of a dialogue between these two communities.
Even when you're doing absolutely nothing, your body perspires. And if you happen to be a very active woman, perspiration can be a real problem. The deodorant you use may hide odor, but there isn't a deodorant you can buy that will stop perspiration. That's why we created 5-Day Antiperspirant Spray for people who lead fairly active lives. 5-Day will help keep you dry no matter what you're doing. After all, life can get pretty hectic at times.
You're watching Newsnight on Television 9.
Goodbye, Algernon. I'm taking the picture of Aunt Gertrude, the dog, and the new Dino Dollars card from Sinclair. $2,500 left.
Okay, I get the Love and Spoonful record and the other new Dino Dollars card. $2,500 right. Our cards match.
Mother was wrong. We are a perfect match. $2,500 from Sinclair.
You Dino Dollars, what a game.
I'm crazy about you. You know what? Let's take the money and go to Europe.
South America.
Europe.
South America.
Europe.
Play new Dino Dollars. You can win up to $2,500 or a new Camaro at Sinclair.
South America. South America.
Washington's woes continue as the Senators face the league's top team and top pitcher. Bob Waller for Bill McColgan has the details.
Denny McLain, baseball's only 20-game winner to date, goes after number 21 tonight against the Senators in Detroit. McLain, who won number 19 in Washington last week, has just lost his third game, and we believe that might be Earl Wilson that you were looking at. Wilson won in last night's game. Frank Bertena pitches for Washington. He's 4-8. Television 9 carries tonight's game starting at 8 p.m. Last night, the Senators managed the first unassisted triple play in 41 years. Ron Hansen turned it in, and Frank Howard's 30th homer and 2 singles against Sam McDowell, but they still managed to lose to Cleveland by 9 runs and blow both the chance to win the 3-game series and a chance to win back-to-back games, which they haven't done in 7 weeks. Ernie Banks hit 2 home runs in 1 game for the 4th time this year as the Cubbies continued their long ball barrage. Banks and 3 teammates homered yesterday. Today, Banks was joined in the 4-bagger barrage by Billy Williams and Jim Hickman as Chicago took the Astros 6-1. Ferguson Jenkins won his 12th. All other teams play tonight. The loosest, most relaxed team in baseball may well be the best. St. Louis outfielder Curt Flood told Sal Marciano that the Redbirds' performance on the field is connected with their attitude off of it.
Very important. Loose is kind of a, maybe that's not quite the word for it. I don't know, but we enjoy playing baseball. We enjoy having fun. Perhaps the best teams in the world are the teams that can relax. And this is what our team is able to do. We have our relaxation periods, of course, and then we go to business when we get out here.
One of the mysteries of sports is what comes first, winning or the winning spirit?
That is a difficult question. I don't know. I think a good team has a good spirit, and vice versa. You know, it's very difficult to say which comes first. I think you have to have the talent, though, in order to have a good ball team. And when you win, you develop a real good, close relationship and good spirit with your ball club.
Well, Curt, you have more base hits than anybody in the National League. You're shooting for that one title that's that you haven't been able to get so far?
Yes, well, there are several. Now, first of all, I don't know exactly what you mean. I think you mean leading the league.
Yeah.
This has been very elusive. Of course, whenever I have a good year, it seems like Orlando or Roberto Clemente or someone like that, it hits 390. So, it's very difficult to do. You have to be able to play every ball game, and you have to be very lucky, too, and be pretty talented, I guess, too. But it just hasn't come, and maybe one of these years it will.
The Washington Redskins flew to Houston today, where they'll open the pro football exhibition season tomorrow against the Houston Oilers. The team was to take a light drill this afternoon to accustom themselves to the Astrodome's synthetic grass and the special shoes that are worn for better traction. Bill McColgan and Sam Huff will do the commentary on Television 9's coverage of the game tomorrow night starting at 9 o'clock. The Chicago Bears all-time pass receiver Johnny Morris today announced his retirement after 10 NFL seasons. He'll devote full-time to being a TV sportscaster of all things. Well, John Douglas, I can endure this muggy weather for a couple more days if you'll guarantee me good weather for the weekend.
Well, Bob, this is a good possibility if a brand new cold front moves along on schedule. We've had the same situation here in Washington for the last 2 weekends. But ahead of the front, there's a 30% chance of scattered showers tonight, a 40% probability tomorrow, followed by clearing, less humid, and sunny on Friday. Here's the front stretching now from about Chicago into the southern plains. It's packing potent, cool air, too. For example, the 70s in the northern plains, the 70s in the Rockies, as opposed to our high of nearly 90, 80 at New York City, and the same at Boston. The nearest showers to now are about 90 miles to the northwest in the mountains of Pennsylvania, and they are moving due east away from Washington. But again, a good chance of a cooling shower tonight and tomorrow as that front heads toward us and passes through sometime tomorrow night. Right now it's 82 degrees, the sky is partly cloudy, visibility is 15 miles, the humidity is 61%, low tonight will be around 72, and high tomorrow about 88. The sun will rise at 6:09, set 8:19, the two high tides 136 and 154. The current wind is southerly at 9 miles an hour. So once again, we could have a break in the heat for the weekend. Have a nice evening.
This is a laundry tub. This is a sink. Big deal. Both are old as the hills, but this is brand new. Axion. And the point is that no matter where you soak your clothes in Axion, and this or your washing machine, you'll get the cleanest, most stain-free wash you've ever had. Axion is Colgate's new enzyme-active pre-soak that soaks out dirt and stains bleachers can't bleach out and detergents can't wash out. Just take a look at a few of the stains you can get out with Axion. Meat gravy, grass stains, chocolate ice cream. And look at this. Yeah, spaghetti sauce. This was just as bad, but we pre-soaked it in Axion before detergent washing. No more stains. So soak your clothes in anything. It doesn't matter, as long as you soak them in Colgate's new Axion. So remember, of all the new laundry products around, this is the one I recommend, new Axion.
Can a breakfast cereal make George Adams better looking? Why do you think George always has spoon-sized shredded wheat by Nabisco? All those tiny biscuits are packed with natural wheat protein to help make you feel good. And when you feel that good, you're gonna look great. Can spoon-size or the original Nabisco shredded wheat make you better looking? Maybe not. Maybe you'll just feel on top of the world, like George.
That's the local story right now. I'm Warren Olney, WTOP News. Watch Julian Barber at 7, and stay tuned now for Walter Cronkite as Newsnight continues.
Direct from CBS News Convention Headquarters in Miami Beach, this is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite and Charles Kuralt in the CBS Newsroom in New York. Eric Severide in Miami Beach, Charles Collingwood in London, George Herman in Washington, Marvin Kalb in Washington, Robert Pierpoint in Washington, and Daniel Shore in Washington.
Good evening. The deep split between moderates and conservatives that marked the last Republican convention already is putting its brand on this